Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אהבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידה מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We can be seated. Let's turn to 488. I made Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav. Oh, yeah. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
A little quiet, a little silence for our own silent prayer. If you want to look in the Siddur, 492, 493, choose any reading to reflect upon, or just take some quiet time.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
Amen, amen, amen. 494. So this is what's happening next. See, we're going to do a few of the traditional melodies. We'll take the Torah out of the ark. And since it is Simchat Torah, our community has been, and many communities all around the country and Jewish communities around the world are going to be doing some dancing. So we have some friends to help us, because I know sometimes the chosen feels a little frozen. So they're going to inspire you, and we are going to take our turns doing a little bit of dancing. You don't have to do anything crazy. Don't hurt anybody. Any doctors here? No. So we're just going to do our thing. You can dance, you can trot, you can walk around, whatever it is. We have some heavy Torahs. We have a little light Torah, so everybody really is able to participate. And while there's going to be 7 hakafot, 7 of these processions, we're really going to be going around a whole lot. So we're going to have like 7 kinds of groupings. So there's more of you. Everybody will be able to, if you choose, will be able to carry a Torah. Now, a couple of them are kind of heavy. So you can let me know if it's not going to be the right one for you, or I know some of us have new parts, and if I need to go on the left side instead of the right side to hold the Torah, do whatever, shoulder replacement, whatever it is, we'll make sure that you're going, we're going to make sure that everybody who wants to will be able to take a Torah, carry it around, and then for the Torah reading, we're going to unroll it. There's enough of us. And we're going to kind of do a little bit of our journey around the Torah scroll like we've been doing for many, many years. That you won't see all around the world, but you'll certainly see it within Reformed community all throughout this country and continent. So, are you ready? We'll start off gentle for you. We'll ask you to rise. 494. When it's time to start dancing, you can put the Siddur onto your chair. We'll use them again to conclude, but we're going to do our kind of start-up Ein Kamocha kind of stuff. So just join along with us. You can use my book.
Okay. Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kema'asecha malchut
תפארתך מלכות כל העולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור.
אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אב הרחמים היטיב ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בכל לבד בטחנו, מלך הרם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. אדוני אדוני אל רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטאה ונקה. Adonai, Adonai, a God compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in kindness and faithfulness, extending kindness to the 1,000th generation, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin, and granting pardon. Adonai, Adonai, el-Rahum v'Chanun, erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, noter chesed la'alafim, noseh avon v'fesha v'chata'a v'nakeh. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema, Gadol Adonai iti, unerum ima shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula, lehagevura, lehatiferet, vehanetzach, vehahon. Ki chol bashamayim uvaretz, ki chol bashamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai amalacha, vehamid naseh lechol erosh.
So we're going to start with some music and some dancing. Let's see. If you have been a member of our congregation for more than 20 years, will you folks come up first and we'll pass you a Torah?
Ready? Ein, zwei,
Good? I'm going to take off these. Some more, come take a Torah.
Right, I just stop. Next one. Generally twice through, but when we stop, because we've got at least 7 things. All right. Are we handed off? Good, ready? Good. So, good. 1, 2,
Good? So, who hasn't held a Torah before? Come over here if you have never held a Torah before. Whose turn? Okay. Good, good, good. Who else needs one? Me. Who said? All right. Ready? Let's go. Yeah, I see. I'm going to take this off. There we go. Okay. You're good. So now, friends, I'm going to ask you to start over here and make a line so that we can unroll the Torah. And when we unroll it, we're going to just hold it from the very top or the top and the bottom. You want to make sure not to touch any of the ink, okay? Anybody need some water first? We're okay? So you're going to be about 3 feet apart or so, 2 or 3 feet apart. That's a little bit too big of a gap.
You go from one thing to the other. That's fine. It's very impressive.
So, one of my favorite things is doing exactly what we're doing right now. Because for so many of us, we were told that you have to respect the Torah so much that nobody can really have access to it. So I love when we all hold it up ourselves. Oh, there's somebody there, good. I just saw fingers. So here, you all have Torah in your hands, and I just love that. I really do. So let's talk about a few things and do our little road trip. Now, you know, this Simchat Torah looks a little bit different than lots of other Simchat Torahs. You know, usually, you know, I know that people are still getting used to the idea of being inside or dancing and all of those kinds of things. But for the friends who are online, we're giving you a chance to see. Andrew is your filmmaker. And for us who are holding it, you know, also we get to look at a few things. There are 304,805 letters in a Sefer Torah. This is a Sefer Torah. It's not just Torah. Torah means lots of different things. A Sefer Torah is the Torah scroll. And of those 304,805 letters, there are 79,976 words. Yes, somebody counted. I got nothing to say about that other than somebody counted.
During the chanting.
Maybe they delegated to a team.
We start with the word Bereshit. Now, if you look, some of these places in the Torah are going to have like special kinds of things called out to them. Sometimes there are letters that are bigger, some are smaller, some have dots. Well, Bereshit, when God started to create, is right at the beginning, and I love the fact that it doesn't start with an aleph, but it starts with a bet. And you can't go backwards, you can only go forwards. So we're always going forwards, and when we end with Deuteronomy, we're not really going backwards again to Genesis, we just keep going forward, right? It's always a forward motion of learning and reading Torah. So Bereshit has a very big bet in it, and this tells our story of our ancestors. You know, there's a, let's see, we're going to look at Jacob and Esau, if I could find it kind of clearly, where there is a whole bunch of dots over where they meet after their conflict. So let me see. No, I think it's a little further along this way. So there is these dots about over the word where it says that they kiss. And the rabbis are wondering about this kiss of theirs. They don't think that it's really totally kosher. A lot of the rabbis are saying that it's not just that they embrace after having this fight for so long. I'm too far. It's a fight for so long that there is a time when they actually try and fall on each other to actually hurt each other. And here it is. So there will be a whole bunch of dots over the words about where they meet and where they kiss, right here in this section of the text. And while the rabbis are thinking that it's not really authentic for them, like they're trying to bite each other, maybe there's a real sense that this is finally a time when they get to have an embrace where no other forces are around that can sour their own relationship. So that is where we see Jacob and Esau. We keep going along, and we're going to see Ve'ele Shmot, and when you see this big space, you have a new book. So Shmot is going to be the book of Exodus. And we know a lot of things that happen in Exodus, but the thing that you can see from really anywhere in the room is this little poem, right? The Song of the Sea. The Song of the Sea, or Shirat Hayam, is going to be the place where the Israelites get through the sea, they go to the other side, and they're free, and this is their version of Simchat Torah. They're dancing, they're singing, Az Yashir Moshe, V'nei Yisrael, all of the people are singing with Moses. And the thing that I learned about this structure of this poem is that it looks like bricks. You can't go forward and celebrate your freedom and just forget your past. You have to take the message of that brick building with them. There's something else that's kind of interesting when it comes right around here in the second chapter. It's not in this Torah scroll. Some Torah scrolls are going to say that Moses was a goodly person, and the tet for the word tov is bigger, but the rabbis disagree. They disagree with one another because they're rabbis. And sometimes the tet will be larger, and sometimes it won't be. This Torah scroll doesn't have it. Some of the rabbis said that Moses' real name wasn't Moses, because Moshe comes from the Egyptian, but it's really Tov. Moses' true Hebrew name was Tov, which means good. So we have Exodus here, we have getting through the sea. Here it's very clear from the outline that this is the 10 Commandments. We're going to see it again over there in the book of Deuteronomy. And we continue with their journey, and we see that not only do they talk a lot, but that this section, for me, isn't our history. I know that there's a lot of people that talk about all that we have here in the Torah is our people's history. I'll suggest to you a different answer. I'm going to suggest to you that this is our memory. Because memory is going to move us on how we behave. History is just data. History is whether it happened or not. I don't know if all of this happened or not. I don't care if it didn't happen. It's still true to me, right? I think that's still a very powerful thing. So here we get to Vayikra. And I shared this with our students in Sunday school in our youth education program this morning. Vayikra el Moshe v'yadaber Adonai elav. So we have this first line in the book of Leviticus, and it basically says that God called to Moses and that God spoke to Moses. And the rabbis are wondering why both? Why not just one? What's so important about this call and this message and this speaking? Well, the thing that I find interesting is in Vayikra, the aleph here, it's smaller. This aleph is smaller. Aleph has no sound. Aleph begins the word ani, which means I. In biblical Hebrew, you might see Anochi, also starts with an aleph, also means I. So when God calls out to Moses and speaks, God is shrinking God's aleph, God's Anochi, God's I, to make room for somebody else. I love that. I love that even God is willing to contract and make room for somebody who's imperfect. And if God can do it, I'm not quite sure why we haven't figured out how to do a better job about that in our communities and lives and all of those kinds of things, yeah? So there was one other thing I wanted to share with you. So let's see, if here's the 10 Commandments, we're going to see a big nun. This script is so challenging. So right around here, we're going to find a big nun, because the part that we say, Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, it's in the Torah portion for Ki Tisa. And in this section, it says that God is gracious and loving and true, and the nun is going to be a little bit larger for the word notzer chesed. Because notzer is this word about keeping or guarding or protecting. And I like that it's notzer, it's the protection of kindness, right? God is the protector of kindness, that not even people can get rid of kindness. So notzer chesed, right? Kindness, generosity, loyalty, all of those kinds of things. And that's part of the 13 attributes that we often speak about. I haven't found it yet. Eliza will find it and will let us know. So here starts Leviticus, right? With the small aleph. And there's so many things about Leviticus. It's really about holiness. It is about how we connect to God and we connect to other people. We're supposed to be mindful of other people. And holiness isn't just about how we pray or praise. In fact, holiness is about worship and sacrifice. It's also about our behavior. It's about business ethics. It's about the right kinds of weights and measures. It tells us not to cheat. It has all of these other kinds of things that are in the book of Leviticus, but it tends to be the part that Americans skip over a lot because it's, unless you're from New Orleans, because it has a lot of barbecue and sacrifice. Here is Bamidbar. Bamidbar is the book of Numbers. Here is the priestly blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God look kindly upon you, be gracious to you. May God reach out to you in tenderness and give you shalom, one of the most exceptional blessings that we have in Jewish tradition. So Yivarechecha in chapter 6 of the book of Numbers. If we go a little bit further, there's this one little text. I was just talking about it with the cantor. There are a couple of lines, and there are 2 nuns that are upside down. Every Torah has this. And basically the idea is that when the teaching is when they were going forward with the ark that Moses was having the people carry, and it talks about God is going to come up and be a protector of us, and everybody that is angry with us or hates us, not angry with us, everybody who hates us, they're going to be scattered. So the rabbis, one argument is this little section between these 2 upside down nuns. They're saying that this is out of place. And it should only be put in its proper place once the Messiah comes. Because when the Messiah comes, there's not going to be any more of that hate. There's not going to be any more of that hardship or turmoil. So they have these 2 nuns that are almost like brackets, like parentheses. So we're going to pull it out. Some say that even those 2 sentences are its own separate book of the Torah, right? So one of the other cool things, let's see, we're still in Numbers. That's Deuteronomy. Around here, we're going to find also different traditions. We're going to find, where was that? Where was I just talking about? I was by you. Yeah, there's the nuns. So around here, this Torah is different from every other Torah. Because usually Matovu is on the very top line. Sometimes Matovu or Halecha, we've been talking a lot about having a big open tent. There's a tradition that Matovu or Halecha, how great is this tent, the blessing that Balak gave to all of the people of Israel. Here it is. Sometimes the mem over here is also larger because the mem itself, the letter mem, can look like a tent. There's an entrance in it. And that tent is a place for all of us. Ma tovu ohalecha, how good, tov, is this ohel, is this tent. We go all the way through. I skipped something that I like to share. Where is that? It's the Vav. I always like to talk about the Vav. Oh, which one? Oh, the big Vav is in Leviticus. That's long ago. So coming back this way, that's Bamidbar. Where's Leviticus? So this is Leviticus. And so there's going to be a section where there is one big Vav. This is Gary's favorite part. And this one letter Vav is larger in the word Gachon. And the Vav in the middle of the book of Leviticus, we are told that this is the middle letter of those 304,000, that's the middle letter. And it's in the Torah portion for Shmini. And in Shmini, it has all of the laws about what's allowed to be eaten, what's not allowed to be eaten. All of this laws about dietary laws. And then when it talks about things that crawl on its belly, right, the biblical word gahon, you can't crawl on its belly, and so the vav is made larger. It's the largest vav, which is just straight up and down. It's the largest vav in the Torah scroll, in the Sefer Torah, because we shouldn't be like the ones that crawl. It's a little bit species against species, but that's all right. You know, you can't just be like a snake that crawls on the ground. You have to stand tall and strong and be courageous in our world. So that's a little bit about the vav. There's another vav, by the way, that's the broken one. It is in the Torah portion for Pinchas, and there are two things that are really close together. Two things that are really close together. In the word Pinchas, which is somebody's name, and he's a zealot, Pinchas executes people. So in his name, Pinchas, it starts with a pei. What would be the second letter? Can you take a guess? A yud. It's the smallest yud in the Torah. Why would the yud in Pinchas be smaller? How do you spell God's name in Hebrew? Yud He Vav He. So Pinchas, who is celebrated for being a zealot, has a smaller yud, because if you're going to try and make peace with violence, you actually diminish God's presence. So the yud is smaller. And it's so small you can easily miss it. And then just afterwards, where's Pinchas? Hello? So the other thing, just a verse later, when you see this thing about Pinchas, that's Balak, is he's going to get rewarded by God with a Brit Shalom, this everlasting covenant. But the Vav that's in Shalom has a line through it. So you can't have Shalom if it's a real sense of Shalom, because Shalom isn't peace. It's about being whole. You can't have it. So if you look carefully, you'll be able to see Shalom with a Vav, and there's going to either be a line or a space. This Torah has a space in it, wherever it is. It's right around here. So once Norma finds it, she'll let us know. Then we continue, and we conclude with Deuteronomy. Here's the 10 Commandments again, right? And we move. This is a strange Torah. This isn't the newest Torah, because the newer Torah that is super clear and beautiful also is more delicate, so we don't pull it out. Its parchment is much more sensitive. So you will also see in Deuteronomy, we often will mention the Shema. And Shema will have two letters that are bigger, an ayin at the end of Shema and at the end of Echad, because an ayin and a dalet together, when you bring them together, is an eid, which is a witness, which is exactly what you folks are doing. Witnessing, not just the text or its story, but to help us be witnesses out into the world. The coolest thing before we go, I'll do one cool thing and one little bit trickier thing. The last word is Yisrael. So what's the last letter? Lamed, an L sound. We started with Bereshit. What's the first letter? Bet. A lamed and a bet is a lev, which is your heart. Let's do that all together. So that I think is really cool. And the lamed traditionally has a higher kind of head than all of the other lameds, right? So the one other thing, Gary's been here before. So here's the story. So I'm from New York. I was ordained from the New York School of the Hebrew Union College. I was ordained in May of 2001. And my first pulpit on September 11th, I was ready to teach a class about writing an ethical will. And the news broke. We saw what was going on. We hooked up a TV. And then a little bit later, we organized, the next days, we organized minyanim. And one of those morning minyanim, we had a Torah reading. And after you read Torah, and the Torah portion was Ha'azinu, we lifted up the Torah, Hagba, right? And we showed everybody was in the Torah, but usually you hold open like 3 columns. A lot of times people just get one. It's a little heavy of a Torah, that's okay. But it was Ha'azinu. So all they saw was this column here. So it looks like the Twin Towers. It was very eerie that was the day we lifted up the Torah after such a calamity, right? We only saw this one column. And it occurred to nobody until, this person held it up. Now, some people in our synagogue say there's no such thing as coincidences. And I don't always buy that, but sometimes there's something really telling that happens right at the right moment that helps me to pay more attention to the world. So, good. How about this? Let's have everybody share in the bracha because it's time to chant the last bits of Deuteronomy, and then we'll chant the very beginning of Bereshit. We have a microphone. We have microphones. We have a yad. We have everything. Okay, you folks are doing a great job holding the Torah. Don't forget you're still holding the Torah. Okay, would you like to kick us off?
Yes. Oh, yes. Wait. Yes. Okay. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Ve'yal Moshe me'arvot Moav el har Nevo Rosh hapizga asher al penei Yereho Vayarehu Adonai et kol haaretz et hagilad adan ve'et kol Naftali ve'et eretz Ephraim u'Menashe ve'et kol eretz Yehuda ad hayam ha'aron ve'et ha'negev ve'et ha'kikar bikat Yerecho ir hatmarim atzoar vayomer Adonai elav zot haaretz asher nishbati leAvraham leYitzhak uLyaakov lemor lezarecha et Hena Heriticha, I lost it. Heriticha Benecha Veshama lo ta'avor Veyamat Sham Moshe Evet Adonai Be'eretz Moav Al Pi Adonai Vayikvor Oto Bagai Be'eretz Moav Mul Ben Bet Peor Velo Yada Ish Et Kevurato Ad Hayom Hazeh.
ומשה בן 120 שנה במותו לא קהתנו ולא נסלחו ויבכו בני ישראל את משה בערבות מואב 30 יום וידמו ימי וכיב על משה ויהושע בן נון מלא רוח חוכמה כי סמך משה את ידיו עליו וישמעו אליו בני ישראל ויעשו כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה ולא קם נביא עוד בישראל כמשה אשר ידעו אדוני פנים אל פנים לכל האותות והמופתים אשר שלחו אדוני לעשות בארץ מצרים לפרעה לכל עבדיו ולכל ארצו ולכל היד החזקה ולכל המורא הגדול אשר עשה משה לעיני כל ישראל.
Yasher Koachs. And a closing blessing. Amen. So the end of the Deuteronomy, you hear the end of their journey, you hear the end of Moses' life, and we see that also there was never again a prophet like Moses. And then right away we start again with Bereshit, with the book of Genesis. But there's a tradition that young children, of which at Simchat Torah time, usually there's many, but we started too late, I guess. But you're tough. So young children get to share the aliyah when usually they wait till after they become b'nei mitzvah or bet mitzvah. So, you ready? Okay, I'll do it with you. You got Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch right over here. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Noten.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayita tohu vavohu ve'choshech al panei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al panei hamayim vayomer Elohim yehi or vayehi or Vayar Elohim et haor ki tov vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hachoshech vayikra Elohim לאור יום ולחושך קרא לילה, ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום אחד.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם. ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. אלה תולדות השמיים והארץ, בהיברעם ביום עשות. אדוני אלוהים ארץ ושמיים, וכל שיח השדה טרם יהיה בארץ, וכל עשב השדה טרם יצמח, כי לא המטיר אדוני אלוהים על הארץ, ואדם אין לעבוד את האדמה, ועת יעלה מן הארץ, וישקע את כל פני האדמה. וייצר אדוני אלוהים את האדם עפר מן האדמה, ויפח באפיו נשמת חיים, ויהי האדם לנפש חיה.
Can I have the mic?
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochinu. Baruch atah Adonai notin haTorah.
Amen. Good job. I'll take my talis back, although it looks good on you. It's hot. I know. Tell me about it. So we heard the end of Deuteronomy, and we heard the beginning of Genesis. The first day we heard about Shabbat, and now it's time to roll the Torah again. So hang on tight, and we're coming your way. You want to start on your end?
Neches, next page. Okay. Oh, what key? Oh. C.
It's not fair for short pillar.
Let's conclude our service with Aleinu L'Shabeach in Kaddish. If you'd like to follow in the Siddur, it's 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא
591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Kaddish is on 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabba, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'vizman kariv v'meru, amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam v'omei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemed Kurusha Barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'miru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'miru, amen. V'aseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, V'meru, amen. Amen, amen. A closing prayer. He'll be there later.
Yeah.
A closing prayer, if you'd like to follow, is on 492. But I have a feeling that most of us know these words. Oseh Shalom. We end with, as always, peace.
Yes, and just a quick thank you to the Klez dispensers for their beautiful music. And to Andrew and Craig for the sound, and to Andrew for the video. And let's sing out words of peace. Oseh shalom bimromav, hoyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Yai la 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 la.
Chag Sameach, everyone. Good to have you join us. We'd be grateful if we bring our Sidurim back over to the cart. And if you want to leave out one of these doors, it's fine. You can just go out straight to the parking lot. Chag Sameach. Everyone online, thanks for being with us.